Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Well, let's talk about drones, or drones. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, the drone activity over the UK seems to be ongoing, maybe heating up. And there are signs that make me think that this is definitely anomalous activity, or at least I'm strongly leaning in that direction. So let's go over the information that we've got, including video and commentary from people like Ross Coulthard. So let's get into it. Chris Sharp says, looks like activity is continuing over the U.S. operated bases tonight. According to YouTube streamers at Laken Heath, just now they saw a light flash into the clouds above, explaining it as weird and something they hadn't seen before. Lights flashing in the clouds. Doesn't sound super drony, but let me know what you guys think. And here's a video of some object filmed in Lincolnshire. One of these drones, apparently. Yeah, if that is a surveillance drone from a foreign power, why is it doing all it can to draw attention to itself? I just don't see how that could possibly be a Russian or Chinese drone. Sorry, guys, that just doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, seems anomalous to me. And there are people saying these objects have been seen coming and going from the water. Yeah, definitely not what you would expect of a drone, right? Here's another image over Laken Heath. Excuse me, another video over Laken Heath. I think this is a zoom in of that same object. Or maybe this is a different object. Either way, really anomalous looking to me. Definitely doesn't look like a drone. I mean, tell me if you think that could be a drone. I mean, maybe, poor quality video and stuff like that, making the few lights look more anomalous than they are. But yeah, I just don't see it. Here's another one near Laken Heath, 30 minutes from Laken Heath, over RAF Marham. So yeah, let's check this out. Yeah. We got the blinking lights there. Hard to see what that is, if that's anomalous or if those are stars or satellites. Not seeing anything super juicy in that video. Let's see. Mario Novel says drone spotted over 4th USAF base in England. It's not just confined to those 3 bases. It's been seen over a 4th base. Unidentified drones have been sighted over 4 bases in England, including RAF Fairford in the west, and RAF Lakenheath, RAF Middenhall, and RAF Feltwell in the east. Active since November 20th, the drones vary in size and configuration, but operations remain unaffected. The USAF, which support from 60 British military personnel, is investigating the week-long incursions. The U.S. Air Force's in Europe spokesperson says our units continue to monitor the airspace and are working with host nation authorities and mission partners to ensure the safety of base personnel, facilities, and assets. Okay, well, that's good. Here's a 75 miles northwest of RAF Lakenheath. Is this a different sighting, or is this something that we've seen already? Well, you see these lights that are drifting through the sky, blinking on and off. Again, not how I would expect drones to behave, but moving in straight lines and not doing anything super fantastic. No crazy maneuvers like we've seen UFOs do before. But very interesting and, eerie, odd. I don't know, eerie, but, not drone-ish. And here's another one, again, over Laken Heath. You see these lights? Yeah, I think there was one that was moving a little bit more anomalously. Yeah, at least a change in direction there. And that was the more interesting. Probably the most interesting of the captures so far. You have this rapid change in direction from these really intriguing objects. Yeah, they all seem to be part of, a group of similar objects. Um, yeah, really interesting stuff, guys. Again, I don't, you know, tell me if you think that's a drone. Joe Murgia says, are they UAP or drones? I think we have to wait and see if Kirsten Gillibrand can get those ROE changed. And if that happens and they still can't bring any down, then they're UAP. Yeah, because as I reported on before, Kirsten Gillibrand is trying to change the law in the U.S. and maybe that'll affect the U.S. bases in the U.K. I don't know, so that they can bring these objects down, even if they're not overtly hostile. Now, I still question whether that should be the best approach to take with these vehicles or not, but that is something that is being done or contemplated. We'll see if it actually happened or not. Yeah, again, more stuff from Lake and Heath. Is this the same, or is this something different? I'm not seeing anything super juicy. Let's see, is there anything there? Yeah, because we've heard there are fighters that may have been scrambled to go after these objects. And so that could have been footage of one of these fighters. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if those fighters encounter anything or shoot down anything or shoot at anything and what happens there. Here's what Ross has to say.
It's a very interesting situation that we know that fighter jets have been scrambled from some of these bases in the United Kingdom. They've been flying without transponders, so we haven't been able to track them to see where they're going and where they're manoeuvring. But there has been an air tanker refueling them, and they've been operating on afterburners. So it's quite clear that the military is taking this extremely seriously, and the British government has also brought in military assistance of its own to help the US Air Force deal with finding out any more that we can about these objects. At the moment, I think all we can legitimately say is they're objects and they're unexplained.
Yeah, they are unexplained. I don't have a good explanation for them. However, they do fit a pattern, right? We've seen UFOs surveilling or doing whatever they're doing to military bases, in the U.S. and I think around the world. And they, not just limited to, Air Force bases, but nuclear silos, fleets, like the Nimitz fleet. Ships in the sky, the dragon phenomenon where they will buzz aerial objects. The UFOs seem to, have this pattern of surveilling or activity around our military installations and vehicles. So this activity we're seeing with these drones definitely fits that pattern. It doesn't mean they're automatically anomalous, but it definitely seems to fit in with that general existing pattern. So, and they don't look like drones to me. By the way, Lou is heading to England. I don't think it's related, but yeah, Lou Elizondo is heading across the pond to London for a visit. I think it's, for his book tour. But still interesting timing, right? Let's see. And another person saying they're from the sea. And one of the commenters on the channel was saying that they were seen coming and going from the sea, these objects. Again, not something you would expect of drones. I guess they could be being released by submarines, I guess, if you wanted to, make it a drone. Christopher Sharp says USAF provided the update yesterday to include RAF Fairford, which is over 130 miles from the other impacted bases. From info I can find, it's designated as the USAF's only bomber forward operating location in Europe. So yeah, they probably have nukes. They probably all have nukes. Talking about the pattern, here's the UFO over Edwards in 1965. And yeah, this has been going on for a long time. Christopher Sharp says, I have just spoken to the UK MOD press office. Their current stance is to provide no comment on the situation. From my understanding, the Ministry of Defense is spooked. The Ministry of Defense is spooked, guys, and they don't want to be asked questions about it either. They just say, no comment. We're not talking about it. Meanwhile, there's this image that's going around showing these UFOs over the Capitol in the U.S., but that has been debunked as lens flares. There are these lights down here that are just refracted into the sky. However, I have seen video of some what looks like UFOs over Washington, D.C. as part of a video that don't appear to be lens flares. So there definitely could be activity over Washington, D.C. I mean, let's be honest, there's activity all the time over large parts of the world. Of course, there's probably going to be continuous activity over Washington, D.C. that's only noteworthy when they let themselves be seen. And I think that is significant. Fox News is reporting on this too. Unidentified drones spotted over U.S. bases in the U.K. do not appear to belong to hobbyists. U.S. officials say the drones have so far not impacted base residents or U.S. assets. Military officials say they are alarmed at what appears to be a coordinated effort to test security at RAF Lakenheath, Middenhall, Feltwall, and Eastern England, as well as Fairford in Southern England. Well, obviously, it's not relegated to those bases. It's going on in the U.S. This is is crossing the sea, folks. It's crossing the sea. This is not. This is not an idle probing of defenses. If this is a foreign power doing this, this is a coordinated power move, even showing themselves and having blinking lights and stuff. It seems very unlikely to me. Also, I think that if the military thought they were Russian or Chinese drones, they would take them down. I really believe that. Whether Kirsten Gillibrand gets that law passed or not, I think they would take those drones down if they actually thought they were spy drones. But they're not taking them down because they don't think they're spy drones, is my take on it. The UK military has sent around 60 personnel to protect the bases being targeted by multiple drone incursions. A senior U.S. official told Fox that the drones do not appear to be those of hobbyists. Witnesses say they are small quadcopters and octocopters and are more sophisticated than those that can be bought off the shelf. Well, see, that's interesting. If there are witnesses that are saying they are seeing actual drones, that's significant, right? Is that an argument in favor of these all being drones? Could it be a mix of human drones and non-human drones? Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder said earlier Tuesday that none of these drone incursions have impacted the base residents, the facilities, or U.S. assets on the bases. We of course always maintain the right to defend ourselves if we deem something to be a threat. So I guess it's not very threatening. Meanwhile, Chris Sharp says the UK government has warned that those behind the drone incursions will be shown the full force of the law. Defense Minister Maria Eagle said it was taking steps after the mystery drones were spotted over military locations. Yeah, super crazy stuff, guys. And meanwhile, RAF Bryce Norton is now encouraging locals to report drones following sightings at nearby RAF Fairford. Bryce is asking people to keep an eye out and report if you see a drone. So, yeah, some people seem to think these are drones. Some think they're more anomalous. Definitely some of that UFO footage to me seems more anomalous than the reports of these things coming out of the water. Seems more anomalous. But if people are actually seeing these things with their own eyes and they're seeing drones, quadcopters, and so on, it makes me wonder if there may be a mix of phenomenon going on. You know, like with the crop circles. You have some genuinely anomalous crop circles mixed in with the human hoaxes. Is that what we're dealing with here? Obviously, the drones wouldn't be hoaxes, but maybe the genuinely anomalous vehicles are drawn to the activity around the spy drones, if that's what's going on. But again, if they're spy drones, surely they would just shoot them down. Surely they don't need a law to shoot down spy drones. Maybe they do. Maybe they do, guys. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. And give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter links below. I'd love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. See the link. Or or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really, really appreciate you guys' support. Okay, guys, go and have a great Thanksgiving. Have some turkey, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.